plenary session. Over to you.
Thank you. Good morning to you, everyone. What an amazing confluence of great minds and great practitioners today to discuss such an important topic around citizens. It is often said that you take a problem or an opportunity in India and you multiply it by with 150 crore, and that's the magnitude of an opportunity or problem that happens in India. If you go back just 2 decades, if a citizen were to ask for a license or a certificate or any service, they had to go through multiple hoops around it. But of course, technology has brought a lot of relaxation to these services in form of, let's say, Aadhaar or UPI or many more, which have made the lives of these citizens better and enhanced the accountability in the minds of the citizens. And that's the focus today. Of course, keeping in mind the broader frame here with the NCeG is about technology and keeping citizens. So today's discussion is going to focus on putting a citizen at the center of why the governments exist and the role a technology can play in addressing their aspirations. I always say that technology is the biggest leveler when it comes to a heterogeneous society as ours. And that's where lessons have to be learned and amazing stories have to be also brought out to the for the larger country to learn. And that's where Rajasthan becomes important with its own universal last mile household reach initiative, where no citizen is left behind from these services and the ability to meet their aspirations. Many programs government of Rajasthan has launched, Jan Aadhaar, E-Mitra, Jan Sampark, Rajkaat Smart, and many more, which have significantly covered the larger populace within the state and made Rajasthan one of the fastest and the deepest adopter of technology in the way citizen services are delivered. And that's where today's focus lies, in learning from Rajasthan what we could do as the country evolves towards the Viksit Bharat. And who better than these amazing practitioners of the technology and also the implementers of those policies insofar as the experts we have. So welcome all 4 of you, and would love to hear from you. Let me start with a very open question in terms of what does citizen-centric governance mean to you, and the role that technology plays, and insofar as your own experiences has been, what is it that something that you've learned along this journey that you would want others to also pick up from? So I'll start with this one. I'll start with Shri Arijit Banerjee, the Principal Chief Conservator of Forest, Head of Forest in Jaipur, Rajasthan. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Jain. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So what is citizen-centric governance? In a country as large as ours, in a state as large as ours, where the citizen, for the smallest things in his life, has to interact with a government entity. It could be a government official or an office. It is, in today's time and date, an important metric for government performance to simplify that interface. Ideally, he should not have to visit a government person or an office. And even if he has to, his visit should be the briefest. He should not be overawed by the presence of a person in government dress, in government attire. And to this end, since I have been working in Rajasthan for 3 decades now, and I've observed how things change. There was a time in the 90s when I reached my cadre where a birth certificate took time to be issued, or a death certificate took a certain time to be issued. A caste certificate, an income certificate. Today, these documents, which are very important to the particular applicant, for the applicant it's a matter of life and death. These can actually be generated. These can actually be generated at a click of a button. I work for the Forest Department, we hold in trust on behalf of the state 10% of Rajasthan's geographical area. That's 32,000 square kilometers. 32,000 square kilometers is bigger than many countries you regularly hear of. It's bigger than Belgium, it's bigger than Armenia. It is a common property resource which we are told कि ये forest department का जमीन है, यहाँ कुछ हो नहीं सकता. Maybe that's partially true, वहाँ forestry हो सकता है, but we hold it on behalf of the state as a common property resource, understanding that it belongs to everybody who stays in Rajasthan, or every Indian if you expand it. In course of a day in a forester's life, the primary interaction is with government entities. The government entities are our biggest clients. Public works, irrigation, drinking water, power, utilities and generation companies, and then the army and paramilitary forces. We don't have navy setups here, the Indian Air Force, railways, highways, and to a lesser extent, mining and hospitality. And then there are individuals who have their issues regarding land. While administering such a large parcel of land, if left to me, I'm perfectly happy with the 1:50,000 map, and I say that's the best map in the world, and I'll accost anybody who I think is infringing on my land. But the world doesn't work that way. Revenue maps are actually in 1:4,000 scale. So after a decade and a half, it took us to get 90% of Rajasthan's forest land mapped at the revenue scale. It's a very difficult task. But I'm happy to inform this house that we were able to do it. And we were able to do it with the incredible help provided by Department of IT and of course the Department of Revenue. So this in Rajasthan, partnerships somehow work. So digital forest stack is something about loads of information lying around with us in the forest department in the digital form. A massive amount of information lying with revenue, mining, DoIT, agriculture, horticulture, Gramin Vikas, Panchayati Raj departments. It's already there. And a very important amount of data sets which are hosted by the union government in the public domain. So what we tried in the stack, this was supported by JICA DX Lab, which is an entity out of the Japan International Cooperation Agency in Tokyo, whose partner was the Boston Consulting Group as consultants. And the front end, the satellite image analysis part has been handled by a 3 years back, they were an upcoming startup. Today, SatSure is among the best known young companies in the country working with various entities of the Government of India. So we are proud to be partners with SatSure in this. So what we tried to do, it all started with a discussion around carbon projects. And then we realized that carbon projects, the structuring will take some time. But forest health monitoring and planning are two of the lower hanging fruits. So having brought all this data together, how do we make sense of it? We created a data exchange for seamless flow of data. We need not ask somebody ki mere ko ye Excel sheet de do. We've tried to go beyond that, where the data flows from the DoIT to us or us to DoIT, whichever the way, seamlessly, without asking. From the Government of India through a series of APIs, whoever has agreed, it could be forest fire data, forest boundaries, canopy density, Census of India, soil moisture, groundwater data held by the Central Groundwater Board. The next part was get these all together and put it together as a decision support system so that any manager of a natural resource can make sense out of it. So today, even if it's not fully developed, full development never happens. In that world of technology, there is always an evolutionary step that takes place. So full development never takes place, but 9 plantations dating back to the middle of 2015, 2014 onwards are on the stack. We can visualize how at a particular site, 50, 30, 20 hectare site, wherever it might be in Rajasthan, Has the forest cover changed? Has it changed for better or has it gone down? The tools that we use are publicly accessible tools, free tools made available by agencies such as NASA and the European Space Agency. We don't yet spend recurring money on this stack. We'll have to at some point of time. The imagery which we are using is Sentinel. The reason we are using Sentinel and the reason we are trying to do this, one of the reasons, is data sets from the Forest Survey of India. We receive them once in 2 years. Here we can do it every year. It is repeatable. And the structure is such that if we get better imagery, we get Cartosat 2.5 form of 10-meter resolution, we can use them. We get drone feeds, we can use them to further fine-tune and figure out how our performances have been. A lot of these data sets are in the public domain for researchers, for startups and companies who can, look, this data was created, it's public data. It's nothing classified in it. Most of it is not classified except the commercial data. So we would welcome companies, researchers, students to take a look at the data, suggest how can we improve it. I'm sure there is an immense scope of improvement. We want citizens to look at the data. The silo of nurseries, it exists. It exists digitally. This year, 600 nurseries, 6 crore plants. One can use a QR code to book a plant, buy a plant, or go to the website and order a plant, block the plant online. Those facilities have been made available by this state government. Rajasthan has always been called a backward state. I don't know of any other state which really has such a facility, and we are in the monsoon of this year. This is the 3rd year we're doing this. When the Prime Minister says that, go out and geotag your, when the Prime Minister says that, geolocate कीजिए आपने जो पौधा लगाया वो कहाँ लगाया. We have Tina here. Tina was overseeing the development of the Haryalo Rajasthan application when she was Commissioner Narega. And any citizen on planting a tree can take a photograph, upload it to the Haryalo app, it gets geolocated. You can revisit your sapling after 6 months, 1 year to say that it's still alive and doing well. You can do the same thing, you can upload the same picture and details on the Meri Life portal of the Government of India. It is verifiable and it is actually fun. When we did a photo contest on a social media last year, the best and most interesting and fun photographs came from young people, elderly people planting a tree. It was great fun. It need not always be a very expensive camera setup shooting a tiger. That's nice, agreed. But this can be very fun and this can be very engaging because everybody you see has a smartphone and a certain amount of data he or she is going to consume. My staff, they consume some data every day. My task is to take them off WhatsApp and bring them into the DigiStack. So they know how to use a smartphone, they know how to use look at a reel, download something, upload something. How to use that energy and bring it into some kind of productivity. Challenge is to broad base it. 4 images, 40 images, 400 images, very easy to process. When I try to process 4 lakh images, then is the test. Having 100 users of the Digivan or the Forest Stack is easy. Having 100,000 users is where the challenge is. And we would want more users. More the users, more the data flowing in and out, the better these systems become. We talk of artificial intelligence, we talk of machine learning. I'm not a techie. I'm an old man. But whatever little I have understood, the more data sets you run through an artificial intelligence model, it could be a Claude or a Firefly or a ChatGPT or Grok or whatever, the more data you put in, the better it becomes. So it cannot expect it to give you the right answer the first time round. You'll have to intelligently cull it out. Use it by all means, but use it intelligently. That is what we want to do for our citizens. Give them the tools, give them the means so that they can come to somebody wants to put up a mine or a hotel or whatever in Rajasthan, he need not approach an office of the forest department. He should be able to go to use his phone or his computer, check out the piece of land. Once he checks out the piece of land, he should be able to take a decision whether he needs to approach the pollution board for XYZ. Does he have to seek an environment clearance? Does he need a wildlife clearance? Why should he keep approaching a range office or a division office again and again? Jitna kam interaction hoga citizen se, utna hi acha rahega. That is maximum governance and minimum government. That is what the Honorable IT Minister talked about, referred to yesterday. That is what the compare was talking about today.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Arijit. I think there's a very important lessons to draw. When it comes to the forest and the green cover, lies the latent potential for creating new livelihoods, and also, of course, from a carbon credit perspective, it is still a volunteer market. We have not been able to capture that, but with evidence that can be drawn from these systems that Rajasthan government has picked together, I can assure you it is one of the big sectors where we can generate carbon credits and also create new livelihoods for SSGs through MRBs and so on and so forth. So congratulations to the state government of Rajasthan for having undertaken this, and so much to learn from. So let's move from one resource or one public good to the other, water, which is also a citizen's right, and often the most difficult in terms of provisioning water to every citizen, which is their right. So who better than Shri, Rajan, Vishal to talk about it, who's also the mission director for Jal Jeevan mission in Rajasthan. So if you could just talk about how do you look at your current role and your experiences previously in terms of planning your policies and programs and using technology to ensure that water in particular is accessible to every single citizen in the state.
So, good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me here. I'm delighted to be a part of this panel. So, citizen-centric service, the spotlight is on the citizen. The role of welfare state is to identify the needs, the need assessment, what does a citizen want, and then design programs and policies, and then design mechanisms to deliver it in a simple, transparent, faster, and accessible manner. But more often than not, the processes overweigh the objective, and we miss the forest for the woods. And that's where the role of technology and digital public infrastructure comes in. In my role as district collector across 4 districts and in assignments ranging from public finance to agriculture and horticulture and now in water sector, I've learned one common lesson, that we should move away from digitizing individual departments to designing interoperable digital public infrastructure, where one data set talks to the other, the output of one department becomes the input of the other department, and there are backward and forward linkages. For example, for a cooperative department, the targeted beneficiary delivery, the assessment of the eligibility, that citizen is different. For agriculture, again, reinvention of the wheel, he's again assessing the eligibility criteria. For social justice department, for giving a social pension, he's again reinventing the wheel. For Jal Jeevan mission to assess the eligibility or the feasibility, he's again accessing and assessing the data sets to kind of arrive at the eligibility. Yet the citizen is one. Citizen is one, but departments are viewing the citizen differently. So here comes the role of the digital public infrastructure. And we should move away from kind of departmental data sets to household-based governance. I looked you up on internet, Mr. Samir, and I'm delighted to share, again at the cost of repetition, that I found your article on the need of bringing out household-based ID for targeted delivery and better convergence among the departments. So it resonated very well with me. For example, Tina, our colleague sitting here in the panel as district collector, she should be able to see on one dashboard by making household as the anchor. इस household को नरेगा and now विकसित भारत राम जी का benefit मिला कि नहीं मिला, इसको जल जीवन का connection मिला कि नहीं मिला, इसको social security pension मिली कि नहीं मिली. So the spotlight is on the household, on the citizen, and then the departments weave their services around the citizen. So that is the kind of next frontier of governance we should aspire to reach at. Talking about Jal Jeevan Mission and big infrastructure projects, I see another opportunity in infrastructure governance and the role of interoperable DPI into this. So that from planning to performance to payment, all these things are seamlessly integrated. Rajasthan has already taken very potent and very strong steps in this direction by the implementation of IFMS, Integrated Financial Management System, wherein starting from the allocation, the budget preparation, the sanction, the accounting, the budgeting, and in the end, up to the stage of auditing, everything is digitized. Similarly, Rajasthan has come up with single holistic public procurement, SHPP portal, wherein the big public procurements, starting from the life cycle approach, the planning, provisioning, contract management, tender floating, work order, defect liability, O&M, credit guarantee, all these things are seamlessly integrated. And the platform talks with income tax, it talks with GST, it talks with the registration and stamps department. It talks with all the departments so that the vendor has the ease of doing business. It doesn't stop there. It even gives the contractor the facility to access the banks and public financial institutions to get working capital loans based on the strength of the work order. So if I've got the work order from a government department, which is a credible certificate which shows that, yes, I have some work in hand, based upon that, I should be in a position to access a non-banking financial company or a bank and take a loan. That will ease my working capital cycle, and that will expedite the pace of the implementation of the public project, and that will ultimately benefit the citizens. Similarly, we have works accounting module, which starts from issuing the work order, financial sanctions, technical estimates, electronic measurement books, vendor payments. So we already have IFMS, we have single holistic public procurement portal, we have VAM module. So we should move from tracking the expenditure to tracking the value every single public money spent has generated. In that, I think the role of governance, role of digital governance comes in. The third thing which I want to talk about is, I think I've short my time, overshot my time. The evidence-based policy making, which is very close to my heart. We brought in CM Praman, Chief Minister's Policy Research Analytics and for Measurable Action and Nexus. So this is a data strategy and policy strategy unit, which is in the process of standardizing all the data sets available in Rajasthan so that to weave in and embed interoperability across the data sets across all the departments in Rajasthan. And once that interoperability is achieved, then we can leverage those data sets to achieve the higher things. So there are three cornerstones of evidence-based policymaking. Peter Drucker, I'm reminded of Peter Drucker, the famous management thinker. He once famously said that the culture eats strategy for breakfast. That means unless you embed the culture in the organization, evidence-based policy-making culture, no matter what strategy under the sky you make, if the culture is not there in the organization, you will not be able to achieve what you want to achieve. So talking about the three cornerstones of evidence-based policymaking, one is credible data sets. For example, AgriStack, where we have around 87 lakh of farmers of Rajasthan whose identity has been verified, whose land holding, even though in different districts, has been validated. So once I have that data set, I can weave and make a number of use cases. For example, fertilizers, 1.92 lakh crore rupees annually in the country. 50% of the total subsidy is going into fertilizers. One bag of urea, 45 kg, costs 132 rupees, but it costs 1,320 rupees for the government of India to procure it from the international markets. So the farmer is getting it at 1/10 of the actual price. So if the government of India is spending 2 lakh crore rupees annually on fertilizer subsidy, we should have a robust system in place so as to ensure that it is going to the right place and the right person and the right use. It is not being diverted into chemical factories. It is not being diverted into DEF urea. It is not getting used in the polymer factories. So if I have verified identity of the farmer, the land holding size, and the crop he has sown, then according to the Agriculture Department prescription, I arrive at X amount of fertilizer which he requires. If he takes more than that, I stop him. Look, this is your entitlement, take it and go. So it solves many problems. It takes the soil health to the next level. It reduces the diversion and optimum utilization of the public money. So credible data sets will give you credible insights. So that is the first cornerstone. Second cornerstone is interoperability, which I have already talked about. And our data sets and our dashboard should not give us post-mortem analysis of the yesterday's problems and yesterday's issues. They should also give us insights for future risks. कहाँ पे मेरा ड्रॉट आने वाला है, कौन से डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में मेरी फर्टिलाइजर शॉर्टेज आने वाली है, कौन से इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट्स मेरे ओवररन में जाने वाले हैं. So from reactive, we should move to proactive. From descriptive, we should move to predictive. So that is where the role of the interoperability comes. And the third cornerstone is that we should use all these things by keeping the citizen in mind. So if these three things we are able to achieve, I think we'll be in a position to bring citizen back into the focus. The spotlight will be on the citizen, and we'll be able to achieve citizen-centric governance. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, and very well said. In fact, you talked about data significantly. Many of you know that India is the largest producer of data globally. About 20% of the world's data comes from India, of which government departments are the biggest owner of that data sets. And as sir rightly said, what do we do with these data sets in terms of planning, from policy planning to budget allocation, etc., is how the next generation of governance will be decided. You know, a very interesting report just came in a few days ago that water is so precious, and you know, a state like Rajasthan can appreciate more. That's a 20 lakh crore opportunity for investors if you're looking for, whether it's in water generation to conservation to desalination of the water, and also with respect to distribution of water. And the underlying layer in each of these is use of technology in how we use this precious natural resource available to us. So congratulations, sir, for having brought in citizen in the center of it and using technology for such an amazing program. Now, moving on, in the age of AI and where technology obsolescence is happening so fast, where you learn about a concept of AI and then the concept changes next day, I can only appreciate enough of the role of the IT department of the state in bringing the latest of the technologies, but also keeping the state ahead in terms of how the technology is used to deliver better services. There is a deep appreciation for what IT department does for a living. So a big round of applause to the IT department in supporting every line department in bringing technology solutions to us. So then who better than Mr. Himanshu Gupta, Commissioner DoIT to ITC from Rajasthan, to talk about his own ambitions of bringing the latest of technology, keeping citizen at the center of it also.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Welcome everybody. So as Samiji was rightly saying, we should have citizen at our center while planning service delivery for the common citizen. मुझे तो एक ही बात ध्यान आती है कि अगर हम इंडियन पॉलिटी की बात करें या पॉलिटिकल साइंस की बात करें या गवर्नेंस की बात करें, द फर्स्ट चैप्टर इन एनी बुक दैट यू फाइंड इज रूल ऑफ लॉ. सो रूल ऑफ लॉ मतलब लॉ विल ट्रीट ऑल इट्स पीपल इक्वली. तो ऐसा क्यों होता है हमारे ऑफिस में, एक आदमी तो अपना काम करा जाता है और दूसरा आदमी उस काम को कराने के लिए सालों साल भी कभी कभी वेट करता है. आप सबने राग दरबारी पढ़ी होगी, एक नकल लेने के लिए उस आदमी को चप्पलें घिस गई उसकी, पर उसको नकल नहीं मिली. तो जब मैं सोचता हूँ इसके बारे में, व्हाट आई रियलाइज इज देयर इज अ सर्टेन लेवल ऑफ डिस्क्रिशन जो हमारी गवर्नेंस में इनबिल्ट है. और आईटी प्लेटफॉर्म्स की बात करें या पॉलिसी रिफॉर्म्स की बात करें या गवर्नेंस रिफॉर्म्स की बात करें, मुझे ऐसा लगता है एक कोर थिंकिंग किसी भी रिफॉर्म में है तो वो ये है कि किसी लेवल पे, जो चाहे वो एम्प्लॉय ऑफिसर हो, चाहे हमारे सबऑर्डिनेट स्टाफ हो, किस लेवल पे सिटीजन को फोकस मानते हुए उस डिस्क्रिशन को कम किया जाए, ताकि उस आदमी को ये रियलाइज हो, सिटीजन को, कि ये जो सर्विस मैं डिमांड कर रहा हूँ, दिस इज एक्चुअली माई राइट. तो आप चाहे राइट टू एजुकेशन की बात करें या राजस्थान सरकार ने रिसेंटली राइट टू हेल्थ एक्ट बनाया था. जितनी भी सर्विसेज हम बनाते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल कल हमने व्हाट्सएप सर्विसेज को लॉन्च करा, वो इसी सोच के साथ इनबिल्ट बनाई जाती है कि कहाँ पे किसी सर्विस डिलीवरी के जो ऑफिसर्स हैं उनका डिस्क्रिशन कम किया जाए. एंड एट द सेम टाइम आई एम नॉट एट ऑल सेइंग कि पॉलिसी डिसीजंस शुड नॉट बी डिस्क्रिशनरी. तो जो सर्विस डिलीवरी है उसमें एक बेसिक कोर सर्विसेज हैं जिन पे पॉलिसी डिसाइडेड है पहले से ही, और कुछ ऐसी हैं जहाँ पे पॉलिसी डिसीजंस हो रहे हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल करंट जियोपॉलिटिकल सिस्टम्स में व्हाट इज द पॉलिसी दैट इंडिया और द स्टेट ऑफ राजस्थान शुड अडॉप्ट, दैट इज डायनेमिक. वहाँ पे डिस्क्रिशन आएगा ही आएगा. बट फॉर एग्जांपल मूल निवास प्रमाण पत्र है, बिजली का बिल भरना है, पानी का बिल भरना है, दीज मैटर्स हैव ऑलरेडी बीन सेटल्ड, डन एंड डस्टेड. पर उसके लिए भी उस सिटीजन को जो हमारा ग्रास रूट पे बैठा है, उसको उन सर्विसेज को भी अवेल करने के लिए कई बार बहुत सारी मुसीबतें या दिक्कतें उठानी पड़ती हैं. तो मुझे लगता है कि एक लेवल पे अगर डिस्क्रिशन को हम कम कर सकें तो सिटीजन एम्पावर्ड होगा. और सर ने बहुत अच्छी बात कही थी शुरू में, सिटीजन एक्चुअली फील्स इंटिमिडेटेड एंटरिंग इनटू आवर गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसेस. हमारी मोटी मोटी फाइलें देखता था, अब ई फाइल हो गई हैं, अब फाइल्स नहीं दिखती हैं. उस पर मुझे बहुत सालों बाद समझ आया कि रेड टेपिज्म कहाँ से आता है. तो हमारी जो फाइलें होती थी उस पर जो पट्टी होती थी वो लाल रंग की होती थी इनवेरिएबली, तो वहाँ से रेड टेपिज्म आता था. तो कहने का अर्थ है कि मतलब हम बिजी भी रहते हैं, बट एट द सेम टाइम सिटीजन ऑल्सो फील्स कि विल द ऑफिसर लिसन टू मी, विल द बाबू ऑफ दैट ऑफिस लिसन टू मी. तो इंटिमिडेटेड फील करता है. तो मुझे लगता है कि एक सिटीजन सेंट्रिक गवर्नेंस का मूल मंत्र जो है वो शायद किसी लेवल पे हमें, जो सिटीजन सर्विस प्रोवाइडर है उसका अगर डिस्क्रिशन जिस लेवल पे सस्टेनेबल लेवल पे अगर हम कम कर सकें तो हमें वो करना चाहिए. मैंने एक वीडियो बनाई हुई है DoIT के प्लेटफॉर्म्स की जो हमने अभी रिसेंटली लॉन्च करे हैं या जो हमारी फ्लैगशिप स्कीम्स हैं. आपसे एक रिक्वेस्ट है कि अभी हम वीडियो प्ले करेंगे, आप चेक करना कि उसमें कहाँ पे डिस्क्रिशन कम किया गया है. मैं एग्जांपल दूं, राजकाज, पता नहीं हमारी टीम ने उसमें डाला या नहीं डाला. राजकाज में ये होता था कि किसी फाइल को किसी ऑफिसर को नहीं करना होता था तो वो फाइल पे बैठा रहता था. आज एवरेज फाइल डिस्पोजल टाइम चेक किया जाता है एंड ऑनरेबल CS मॉनिटर्स एवरी ऑफिसर्स AFDT. तो क्या है, बेसिकली उस ऑफिसर की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी तय हो रही है कि पर्टिकुलर फाइल को आपने क्यों इतने दिन पट के रखा अपने पास। तो एक लेवल पे वो डिस्क्रिशन कम हुआ है उस व्यक्ति का। आपसे अगर सवाल पूछे जाएंगे किसी भी ऑफिसर से, किसी भी स्टाफ एम्प्लॉय से, कि ये काम आपने क्यों नहीं करा, और जैसे राजन सर कह रहे थे कि कल्चर बनाना पड़ता है, तो हमेशा मुझे वो राग दरबारी वाली केस याद आता है। फिर आरटीआई आया। आरटीआई के आने के बाद में एक हम सब के जहन में है कि इंफॉर्मेशन लेना सिटीजन का राइट है, तो वो कल्चरल शिफ्ट आया है हमारी थॉट प्रोसेसेस में। तो एक वीडियो चलाएंगे DoIT की ओर से, आई विल बी वेरी शॉर्ट, जस्ट ट्राई टू रियलाइज वेयर we have actually tried to reduce the discretion of the service providers. Can you play the video, please?
The Honorable Prime Minister's vision of Digital India is transforming governance by making public services more accessible, transparent and inclusive through technology.
From creating the world's largest digital identity system to the world's largest digital payment platforms, our technology solutions are delivering prosperity at the grassroots level.
Inspired by this vision, under the leadership of the Honorable Chief Minister Shri Bhajanlal Sharma, Rajasthan is leveraging technology to bring governance closer to every citizen.
हम राजस्थान के उस अंतिम पंक्ति में खड़े व्यक्ति की चिंता करते हुए हमारी योजनाओं का लाभ हम दे रहे हैं।
Behind every service delivered and every benefit transferred stands a robust digital backbone. The Bhamashah State Data Center powers Rajasthan's digital infrastructure, supporting crores of citizen interactions every day. Rajnet has connected over 9,200 Gram Panchayats and 15,000 government buildings, ensuring digital governance reaches even the remotest parts of the state. The Jan Aadhaar platform, Rajasthan's state resident data hub, has onboarded more than 2 crore families and serves as the backbone for citizen-centric service delivery. Today, citizens no longer need to travel long distances to access government services. E-Mitra, Rajasthan's integrated citizen service delivery platform, offers over 900 government services through more than 78,000 service centers, facilitating nearly 55 lakh transactions every month. Governance is not only about delivering services, it is also about listening. Rajasthan Sampark 181 provides a technology-enabled grievance redressal platform, resolving more than 3 lakh grievances every month. Access to services begins with access to information. The Jan Suchana portal empowers citizens with information on government schemes and entitlements, promoting transparency. Digital innovation is also transforming agriculture. Raj Kisan Sathi supports farmer welfare by providing over 100 services, useful agri-related information to over 75 lakh registered farmers. Together, these initiatives ensure that geography is no longer a barrier to governance and that quality public services reach every citizen. Building on doorstep service delivery, Rajasthan is empowering citizens through the E-Mitra mobile app and WhatsApp services, making government services available anytime, anywhere. The upcoming Mini E-Mitra initiative will further expand service delivery through a mobile-based model, while creating sustainable self-employment opportunities for 25,000 women and youth. Looking ahead, Rajasthan is building the next generation of citizen-centric governance through SMART, that is, service management with artificial intelligence and real-time systems. Envisioning an intelligent governance ecosystem where technology proactively identifies eligible beneficiaries, simplifies service delivery, and connects citizens with the benefits they are entitled to. This is Rajasthan's journey towards inclusive, transparent, and citizen-centric governance, where technology is not merely digitizing government processes, but transforming governance, empowering citizens, and improving lives.
Thank you so much, sir. You know, it's an amazing quote that I've read somewhere, that technology is best used when it doesn't control the citizens but empowers them, and technology is best used when governments actually are invisible in its process but ever so visible in the impact that it creates in the life of the citizens. And after watching this video, if anyone has a doubt that India can actually become a Viksit Bharat by 47, and the role that Rajasthan will play in it, should actually look at this video. So an amazing and a big round of applause for the Department of IT for bringing these solutions to the citizens. You know, just moving on, I mean, these are amazing practitioners of policy and technology. One of the things that we often say is that government has great policies, but what happens to implementation? And that's where we bring in Srimati Tina Dabi, one of the youngest officers here on the dais, the District Collector of District Magistrate of Tonk, where she embodies this one saying that my word is my bond, because she brings to reality the ideas, the policy, the solutions, and deal with these problems on the ground. Ms. Dabi will be happy to hear about your own experiences and how you're using technology in solving the problems that citizens face on a day-to-day basis in your district.
Thank you, Samirji. Sabhi ko namaskar, a very good morning to all. It's an absolute honor and privilege to be addressing such an august gathering and to be part of such a distinguished panel of speakers. सर की जो भी वीडियो थी, आई थिंक उसने काफ़ी हद तक तो डिमॉन्स्ट्रेट कर दिया कि जितने भी डिजिटल इनिशिएटिव्स हैं वो ग्राउंड पे कैसे मटेरियलाइज होते हैं. हम अगर राजस्थान की बात करें, राजस्थान की जिलों की बात करें, आप क्योंकि काफ़ी लोग दूसरे प्रदेशों से आप पधारे हुए हैं, व्हेन वी थिंक ऑफ राजस्थान टिपिकली जो एक डेजर्ट, sand dunes, people living in far off distant locations, वो वाला विजन आता है राजस्थान को लेके. बट राजस्थान में ऐसे कुछ ही ज़िले हैं जो प्योरली डेजर्ट डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स हैं. And I had the opportunity of serving as district collector in Jaisalmer and Barmer before I got posted in Tonk. And in my very short career of just 10 odd years, मेरी जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग है राजस्थान गवर्नमेंट को लेके, एंड स्पेशली ऐसे दूर दराज के ज़िलों को लेके जहाँ पे ह्यूज डिस्टेंसेस हैं, पॉपुलेशन स्पार्सली लोकेटेड है, लोग ढानियों में रहते हैं. राजस्थान गवर्नमेंट हैज़ ऑलवेज एनविसाज्ड कि ये जो डिस्टेंस है, द गवर्नमेंट विल कैरी दिस डिस्टेंस and not the citizens. And this has translated into reality, I believe, on 3 pillars. पहला है एक बहुत ही robust, enormous digital public infrastructure. The second is assistant human delivery mechanism, जो वीडियो में भी आपको नज़र आया होगा. And third is how government operates in camp mode, which I'll elaborate further. So coming to the first pillar is an absolutely robust, enormous digital public infrastructure, जिसका backbone, जिसकी spine है जन आधार. So जन आधार पूरा जो वेलफेयर मॉडल है गवर्नमेंट का, उसको कंसोलिडेट करती है इन one number, one card, one identity. So when a household has a जन आधार number, वो उसके लिए एक प्रूफ ऑफ आइडेंटिटी है, प्रूफ ऑफ रेसिडेंस है और बस उसके लिए कन्वीनियंट है कि अगर जन आधार है तो कोई और फॉर्म ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंटेशन उसको रिक्वायर्ड ही नहीं है. And cash benefits flow seamlessly via DBT using Jan Aadhaar. An interesting point, Jan Aadhaar में head of household female hoti hai, so women empowerment is inbuilt into the design of Jan Aadhaar. So Jan Aadhaar definitely is the backbone, is the spine of this enormous digital public infrastructure. इसके बहुत सारे छोटे parts हैं. I'll just mention one part. So Poshan Tracker. Poshan Tracker is used by Anganwadi workers in Rajasthan to capture the malnourished, to prevent that no child is malnourished, to ensure that proper nutrition goes to lactating and pregnant women. तो पोषण ट्रैकर ऐप से वो हर बेनिफिशियरी को इंडिविजुअली मॉनिटर और ट्रैक करते हैं. तो ऑफ कोर्स ट्रांसपेरेंसी और अकाउंटेबिलिटी तो आती है कि पोषण वहाँ पहुँच गया उनके पास. बट एट द सेम टाइम मान लीजिए कि वी आर गिविंग आवर न्यूट्रिशन सप्लाईज टू देम, बट मान लीजिए सम चाइल्ड इज़ नॉट टेकिंग इट, तो बिकॉज उस चाइल्ड के प्रोपोर्शंस भी हम उस ऐप के थ्रू मॉनिटर करते हैं. सो इट ऑल्सो सर्व्स लाइक एन अर्ली वार्निंग सिस्टम फॉर दैट आंगनवाड़ी वर्कर कि कोई बच्चा मैलनरिश तो नहीं हो रहा. अब आ जाते हैं जैसलमेर और बाड़मेर जैसे जिलों में जहाँ पे अभी भी मोबाइल नेटवर्क हर जगह नहीं है. पावर सप्लाई इज इंटरप्टेड. जो हम सिटीज़ में देखते हैं वैसा वहाँ नहीं है. सो हाउ डज सच ऐप then capture the individual details of these beneficiaries? So the app is built कि वो फिर भी अगर ऐसी लोकेशन हो जहाँ पे मोबाइल नेटवर्क या पावर सप्लाई इंटरप्टेड है तो वो डिटेल्स फेच करके रखता है. एंड व्हेन द वर्कर रीचेज अ लोकेशन जहाँ मोबाइल नेटवर्क, इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी, पावर सप्लाई बेटर है, सो वो ऑटोमेटिकली सिंक हो जाता है. सो पोषण ट्रैकर और द ई-पॉस जिसके थ्रू PDS सिस्टम हमारा ऑपरेट करता है, they are just parts of this huge digital public infrastructure जिसमें of course Jan Aadhaar is the backbone, the spine. Now coming on to the second pillar, which is assisted human delivery system network. तो अगेन गोइंग बैक टू द डेजर्ट डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स ऑफ बाड़मेर एंड जैसलमेर, वहाँ पे ऐसा भी सिनेरियो होता है कि किसी को 200 किलोमीटर भी ट्रैवल करना पड़ जाएगा टू रीच द डिस्ट्रिक्ट हेडक्वार्टर जहाँ कलेक्टर बैठता है. सो ई मित्रा नेटवर्क मोस्ट ट्रस्टेड डिजिटल फैसिलिटेटर है आज के ज़माने में राजस्थान में, जो वो सर्विसेज उसको उसके ग्राम पंचायत, पंचायत समिति लेवल पे ही देता है. उसको इतना ट्रैवल करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. ही हैज़ एक्सेस टू एन नंबर ऑफ सर्विसेज विच यू सॉ इन द वीडियो ऑल्सो. उसको कोई सर्टिफिकेट बनानी हो, उसको कोई ग्रीवांस रिड्रेसल के लिए कोई कंप्लेंट रजिस्टर करानी हो, एवरीथिंग इज़ पॉसिबल इफ़ ही जस्ट गोज टू हिज नियरेस्ट ई मित्रा. एंड there are thousands of e-mitras across the state, as well as in districts like Jaisalmer and Barmer. So this is a blessing for a state like Rajasthan, जहाँ distances बहुत ज़्यादा होती है. Apart from this, संपर्क पोर्टल जो आपने थोड़ा सा वीडियो में देखा, it allows the citizen the facility कि आप कहीं पे भी बैठे हैं और आपकी कोई ग्रीवांस है, you simply have to just go on to the portal and register your grievance. and वो इतना ट्रांसपेरेंट सिस्टम है कि आप देख सकते हैं कि आपकी शिकायत फिर किस लेवल पे है, किस अधिकारी के पास है, उस पर क्या जवाब दिया जा रहा है, उसका क्या हुआ. and when the grievance is finally disposed, it does not end there. A call will come to you to ask whether you are satisfied with the disposal or not. And उन लोगों के लिए, क्योंकि ये बात हमें स्वीकार करनी पड़ेगी, अभी भी एक बहुत लार्ज चंक ऑफ पॉपुलेशन है जो डिजिटली लिटरेट नहीं है, स्पेशली विमेन लिविंग इन दोज दूर दराज का एरियाज. तो उनके लिए 181 हेल्पलाइन है. यू जस्ट हैव टू कॉल देम एंड वो आपकी बात समझ लेंगे और आपकी ग्रीवांस रजिस्टर कर लेंगे. एंड फॉर द ऑफिसर एंड, जो आपने वीडियो में भी देखा और हिमांशु सर ने भी बताया कि वी आर एग्रेसिवली मॉनिटर्ड. कोई शिकायत आपके लेवल पे 30 दिन के ऊपर क्यों लंबित है, यू आर आंसरेबल, यू आर अकाउंटेबल. सो be it the e-Mitra network of Rajasthan government, the Sampark portal, the 181 helpline, all are an interface of assisted human delivery. And finally, coming to the third pillar of citizen-centric inclusive e-governance in Rajasthan is how the government is operating in camp mode. क्योंकि इतना सब कुछ होने के बाद भी इट इज क्वाइट पॉसिबल कि फिर भी कोई ना कोई तो छूट जाएगा. सो द गवर्नमेंट हैज थॉट अबाउट दैट टू, एंड दैट इज व्हाई इट मेक्स एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ट्रैवल टू ग्राम पंचायत, टू रेवेन्यू विलेजेस इन अ कैंप मोड कि आप सब अधिकारी कर्मचारी वहां जाइए, ई मित्र को भी ले जाओ वहां के, एंड किसी की कोई भी इशू हो, कोई भी उसको किसी स्कीम से बेनिफिट देना हो, सो ऑल ही हैज टू डू, ही और शी हैज टू जस्ट ट्रैवल टू द कैंप टू गेट द बेनिफिट. एंड अभी करेंटली भी हमारे ग्रामीण सेवा शिविर और शहरी सेवा शिविर चल रहे हैं. सो दीज आई बिलीव दीज थ्री पिलर्स, समीर जी, हैव ट्रूली मेड इट व्हाट हाउ राजस्थान गवर्नमेंट इज एक्टिवली ट्राइंग कि कैसे हम ई गवर्नेंस सिटीजन सेंट्रिक और इंक्लूसिव करें, और जिले स्तर पे हम ऐसे करते हैं, हाउ वी मेक दैट इनटू अ रियलिटी, हाउ वी मेक इट पॉसिबल. सो आई बिलीव राजस्थान गवर्नमेंट हैज नेवर सीन टेक्नोलॉजी टू बी परफॉर्मिंग मिरेकल्स. मिरेकल्स का ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, बट टेक्नोलॉजी को वो यूज़ कर रहे हैं कि कैसे और रिस्पॉन्सिव, अकाउंटेबल, सिटीजन सेंट्रिक, इंक्लूसिव बनाए, बाय गिविंग देम दैट अपॉर्चुनिटी कि एक असिस्टेड ह्यूमन डिलीवरी भी साथ में रहे. एंड दैट्स हाउ वी सी इट इन द डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स, दैट्स हाउ वी आर इम्प्लीमेंटिंग इट. थैंक यू.
Thank you so much. If this is what is happening at the ground level, then I'm very, very sure that India is on the right path. Thank you, Ms. Dabi. I could keep asking questions, but I realize that you also have right on these experts as much as I have in terms of what you want to know, what you want to ask. So we have about 10 minutes left, but over to all of you. If you have any questions that you want to ask any one of these panelists here, just raise your hand and then
हेलो सर, मेरा क्वेश्चन है. हेलो सर, जब मेरा क्वेश्चन सर आपके लिए, सर जब डेटा डिसीजन करता है तो अकाउंटेबिलिटी कैसे डिसाइड होगा कि हु इज रेस्पॉन्सिबल? एआई या डेटा से डिसीजंस होते हैं, तब ह्यूमन की अकाउंटेबिलिटी कैसे डिसाइड होगा?
देखिए, दो तरह के सिस्टम्स हैं ह्यूमन अकाउंटेबिलिटी के. एक तो मेरा ये कहना है कि आप सिस्टम को इतना फुल प्रूफ और इतना ह्यूमन, जैसे सर ने भी अभी कहा था कि ऑफिसर सिटीजन इंटरैक्शन जितना कम करेंगे. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर मैं इनकम टैक्स की बात करूं, दे हैव टोटली गॉन फेसलेस. तो आप बाय डिजाइन आप ये तय करा सकते हो कि ह्यूमन सिटीजन इंटरैक्शन ही ना हो. जिसके फॉर एग्जांपल स्मार्ट की बात है, स्मार्ट में कोई किसी व्यक्ति की लाइफ में कोई इवेंट हुआ, फॉर एग्जांपल उसकी फैमिली में बर्थ हुआ या शादी हुई या बच्चे ने स्कूल में एनरोल करा, तो व्हाट आर द बेनिफिट्स दैट अ पर्टिकुलर चाइल्ड और दैट फैमिली इज एलिजिबल फॉर, वो ऑटोमेटिक अगर उसको मिल जाएगा जो हम स्मार्ट के थ्रू प्रयास कर रहे हैं, तो आपकी अकाउंटेबिलिटी की तो बात ही नहीं है. दूसरा ये है कि जहाँ पे एक्चुअली अकाउंटेबिलिटी, जहाँ पे सिटीजन ऑफिसर या गवर्नमेंट इंटरेक्शन को आप रूल आउट नहीं कर सकते, या वी आर नॉट एट दैट लेवल ऑफ मेच्योरिटी कि हम उसको रूल आउट कर सकें, वहां पे आपको आपकी जो एक्ट हो या ऑफिस प्रोसीजर्स हो या रूल्स हो, उसमें आप प्रोविजन कर सकते हो. और मुझे लगता है कि जैसे टीना जी भी बता रहे थे कि एट द एंड ऑफ द डे मॉनिटरिंग इज अ वेरी पोटेंट टूल. आपकी जैसे अगर 181 की बात हो तो तहसीलदार के स्तर पे क्यों पेंडिंग रहा, राज उन्नति ऑनरेबल सीएम लेते हैं, उसमें पूछते हैं कि ये वाली सर्विस डिलीवरी आपने क्यों नहीं टाइम ली थी, और अगर कोई सेटिस्फैक्ट्री जवाब नहीं दे पाता तो देयर इज corresponding and commensurate penal provisions included. तो आप अपनी एक्ट में भी प्रोविजन कर सकते हैं, बट मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि आपको उस लेवल पे जाना चाहिए जहां पे सिटीजन गवर्नमेंट इंटरैक्शन टू द एक्सटेंट पॉसिबल आप मिनिमम कर सकें, ताकि सिटीजन अपने आप एम्पावर्ड फील करे कि ये जो मैं राइट क्लेम कर रहा हूँ या जो सर्विस क्लेम कर रहा हूँ, दिस इज माई राइट. और वो अगर हम कर पाएंगे, उस लेवल की मैच्योरिटी या उस लेवल की डेमोक्रेसी अगर हम ला पाएंगे, तो मुझे लगता है कि देयर इज नथिंग बेटर देन दैट.
Namaskar, sir.
Please let us know who the question is for.
For IT department. Myself, Meera Sharma from CERT Power, Ministry of Power. Although I'm having 2-3, but I'll be limiting to the first one. Actually, it is more, if I relate to the first topic of the morning, first session, wherein the sir was talking about enterprise fusion centers. That is, the output of one department or output of one of the services becomes the input of the other. So is Rajasthan government also thinking about that or is working in that direction? Because what we have found in the morning and what sir was saying, like the FIR data, then jail data, that helps in the SI or the investigators to further proceed. This is one. Secondly, since whole lot of data aggregation is being taking place or is bound to take place in future, so what about the data accuracy, the accuracy of the data sets as well as integrity and the retention aspect of that? Because that is the prime aspect. If that everything becomes digitized, then that itself becomes the next fuel. The third one is, sir, मुझे ये पता है कि आप क्या सर आप सर्विसेज दे रहे हैं, आप बता रहे हैं कि बर्थ होने पे the citizen becomes eligible for such and such services. But empowerment starts with the knowledge about my right. मुझे पता कैसे चलेगा कि सपोज किसी के घर में डेथ हो रही है, उसके हेड ऑफ द फैमिली गेट्स expired. So what all are the requirements, like death certificate का एक requirement है, या revenue department में जाना है, उसके बाद land का वो transactions को करने के लिए, तो उसको अधिकार उसके क्या हैं इस event के होने पर, उसको पता कैसे लगेगा? So that will be really empowering. Thank you.
Very pertinent questions, all three of them. Sir, आप क्या गवर्नमेंट सर्विस में हैं?
Yes, sir. Ministry of Power.
तो सर मैं 2 एग्जांपल्स दूंगा जिसमें एक डिपार्टमेंट के आउटपुट को हम इनपुट के रूप में दूसरे डिपार्टमेंट में यूज करते हैं. When you got selected into the service, did you fill an attestation form? था सर?
हाँ बिल्कुल.
आपने उसमें क्या लिखा था सर? कि I have never been criminally prosecuted or criminally
right.
लिखा था ना सर?
बिल्कुल लिखा था.
वो क्या है? जैसे अमनदीप सर बैठे हैं, आपका अगर क्रिमिनल कन्विक्शन हो गया तो दैट इज आउटपुट फ्रॉम वन डिपार्टमेंट विच बिकम्स इनपुट टू द अदर डिपार्टमेंट इन टर्म्स ऑफ रिक्रूटमेंट. राइट. तो हम सब जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर्स यहाँ पे बैठे हैं, वी वर नॉट प्रोसिक्यूटेड और वी डिडंट डू एनीथिंग टू बी कन्विक्टेड. वो आउटपुट जो कोर्ट का ड्यू प्रोसेस के बाद बना, इट बिकेम एन इनपुट जो हमारी चेकलिस्ट में चेक किया गया कि आप सरकारी नौकरी लेने के लिए एलिजिबल हैं या नहीं. अब मैं आपको दूसरा एग्जांपल देता हूं. स्मार्ट योजना में या लाडो प्रोत्साहन योजना स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की चलती है. उसमें एक मैंडेट है कि जिस बच्चे को 3rd किश्त दी जानी है, उस बच्ची को, मतलब लाडो मतलब हम फीमेल चाइल्ड को प्रमोट कर रहे हैं, उसमें उसका अगर वैक्सीनेशन प्रॉपर्ली हो रखा है, उसके बाद ही 3rd इंसेंटिव दिया जाएगा. तो आर वी नॉट गेटिंग एन आउटपुट ऑफ वन डिपार्टमेंट एज एन इनपुट टू द अदर डिपार्टमेंट? तो मल्टीपल ऐसी ऑप्शंस हैं. अगर आप मतलब यू एक्चुअली रियलाइज.
हिमांशु, आई वुड जस्ट लाइक टू गिव अनदर प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल. जैसे आपने आउटपुट इनपुट की बात की, एग्री स्टैक. सो एग्री स्टैक इज लाइक द स्टैक ऑफ, जैसे लाइब्रेरी में बुक शेल्फ होती है, कोई भी यूज करता है फिर रख लेता है किसी को. दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ द स्टैक. सो एग्री स्टैक में, as I talked about the land holding validation and the validation of the identity of the farmers, there is a use case being implemented in Rajasthan जिसमें जो food department and cooperative department हैं, जो procurement करते हैं गेहूं की, मूंग की, सोयाबीन की, मूंगफली की, तो उसमें इस एग्री स्टैक को वो यूज कर रहे हैं. इन द सेंस के अगर मिस्टर एक्स बूंदी जिले में है, उसकी इतनी जमीन है और उसने ये चीज बोई है, तो उसका जो ऑपरेटिंग सरप्लस बनेगा वही तो वो प्रोक्योरमेंट के लिए लेके आएगा मंडी में. तो उसका जो आउटपुट है, दैट बिकम्स द इनपुट ऑफ द फूड डिपार्टमेंट. एंड पहले क्या होता था कि बॉर्डरिंग जिलों में हरियाणा से या दूसरे जिलों से, स्टेट से लोग आ जाते थे और राजस्थान के किसानों के नाम से पब्लिक प्रोक्योरमेंट में करके चले जाते थे. सो दैट इज अगेन अनदर प्रॉब्लम विच वी हैव बीन एबल टू सॉल्व by bringing in agri stack and making this output of agriculture the input of the cooperative department.
Sir, you work for the government. it might be of interest to you that not only is the input of one sector based on the output of another related or unrelated sector, within the IT domain in Rajasthan, mining, police, forest, national highways, we're getting together and trying to figure out a way to fuse our data feeds to come to intelligent decisions in illegal operations which happen in river sand mining or other such interstate crime. And ADG crime yahan biraj rahe hain. We're working hard to get it up. We have assured the Supreme Court we will have smart cameras, intelligent networks in place, and we will have them. DoIT is our system aggregator. Me and the Home Department, we are working together. We are working with National Highways to bring all this data. Unka टॉल बूथ पे कोई कैमरा माउंटेड है, पुलिस का रिस्पांस टीम के पास डेटा है, हमारे फॉरेस्ट के पास कोई डेटा है, एवरीबॉडी इज लुकिंग एट बॉडी कैम्स. सो देयर इज एन इनक्रेडिबल अमाउंट ऑफ फ्यूचरिस्टिक वर्क जो आज HBO पे थ्रिलर सीरियल में दिखता है. वी आर वर्किंग टुवर्ड्स दैट एक्चुअली.
जी मैम.
It's a continuation of this. I very much agree. I'm also from the Ministry, Department of Biotechnology. I agree to the fact that there is an inflow and outflow of
This is what we call
data.
in IT terms as an API integration.
Yes. I very much agree. And you very much took the example of income tax. But I want to put a point over the data check. When you say there is the transfer of data, we very much agree. But when there is transfer of data, again to the core, the citizen, there is problems initiated. Like I'll tell you, after 10 years, we get a notice of income tax. If there is transfer of data from department to department, why there should be this? So there is a data sneak, there is a data not getting accumulated. Somewhere there is some issues. But I cannot go directly to the issue. I don't want to go to that. But data check is again an issue of all this thing which we are doing. And that is the hindrance to the citizen-centric. So that has to be more built up. As morning, I was hearing to that lecture also, even in cyber security. Even when I visited the pavilion, I told them, I see for them itself, I told them, there is no reports generated for the cyber thing. There is no report generated to the public. And when we say even UIAD, there is no centralized now. We say it as a unique identification, but that itself is still not centralized. State governments, it is different. It is not linked centrally. So these are the issues of datas. Datas, when it gets chunk, and if its inflows and outflows are not accumulated properly, then it cannot be more citizen-centric. The citizen-centric percentage will be lower only. So that, if any resolution is there, you may tell.
What you're saying, ma'am, is right. Data or data accuracy, data sanitization is actually a very big deal. और हम भी जैसे हम जनाधार की भी बात करते हैं, there are logical discrepancies in our systems also. We are trying to rectify it. So for us, getting an accurate data, for us, it's sky is the limit. So nobody can say perfectly that my data is perfectly, as nobody can say that I have learned everything in the life, right? तो मुझे लगता है कि हमें डेटा सैनिटाइजेशन में जितना आपने सर थर्ड क्वेश्चन जो आपने उठाया था, इट वाज वेरी पर्टिनेंट. आईसी एक्टिविटीज इन टर्म्स ऑफ डेटा सैनिटाइजेशन भी करने की बहुत बड़ी आवश्यकता है. तो जैसे अगर मैं लास्ट क्वेश्चन आई आंसर द थर्ड वन, नॉलेज को कैसे डिसेमिनेट कर रहे हैं. तो आज एक बहुत पोटेंट टूल एआई के रूप में हमारे पास चैट जीपीटी या जेमिनाइज ऑफ द वर्ल्ड हमारे पास आ गया है. कहीं पे भी कोई प्रॉब्लम होता है, एक पॉइंटर, आई एम नॉट एट ऑल सेइंग कि एआई डजंट हेलुसिनेट और एआई डजंट गिव यू ऑलवेज द राइट आंसर. तो मेरा ये कहना है कि एक प्रॉम्प्टर तो हमें मिलता है कि मुझे अगर चंडीगढ़ घूमने जाना है तो कौन सी सेक्टर में मेरे बस स्टॉप है, वो पहले मैं कॉल करके अपने किसी बैचमेट से पूछता था, अब मैं चैट जीपीटी पे जाके कर सकता हूँ. There are multiple stakeholders for IEC. There are NGOs, there are civil society groups. 1/3 of the calls that we get on our public grievance redressal system, which is called Sampark 181, is information seeking. तो वो टोल फ्री नंबर है, a citizen feels empowered to call 181 और फिर पूछता है कि मुझे ये सर्विस चाहिए, मुझे क्या क्या डॉक्यूमेंट्स चाहिए. So 1/3, this is the actual number that I'm telling you, 1/3 of the calls that we receive are not actually grievances. They are just seeking information from the government कि इसको कैसे किया जाए. So multiple stakeholders, multiple platforms to give IC, but फिर at the cost of repetition मैं कहूँगा कि citizen के पास जाके अगर हम delivery कर सकें services की, that should be our goal.
We'll take just one more question, otherwise I know this topic in itself needs the whole day. Is there any one last question? Yeah, please go ahead.
Good morning, sir. Myself, Prateek Srivastava, Deputy Director from Ministry of Power. So like you spoke that already there is sharing.
Who's the question for?
For IT only, and generally open for all. Generally you are talking about the sharing of data across the government entities. So MeitY has recently come up with national data sharing policy wherein the certain categorization have been recommended regarding the data. Criticality of the data, identifying of PII, like those. So has any criteria has been decided by the Rajasthan government which data can be made public? And secondly, since data is the new tool, so is there any policy for monetization of the same being open to the corporates or the startups, and any fees being levied, and to what extent those data can be made available?
So I'll briefly answer both of the questions. Data sharing पे आज हमारे पास जो बाइबल है वो DPDP Act है. So on the data privacy part and on the part of not revealing the information or the private digital data of that particular citizen, आज जो Government of India का prevalent act है वो DPDP है. For that we are totally compliant. जो भी सर्विसेज हम दे रहे हैं जिसमें हम डेटा डिसेमिनेशन टू द लार्जर पब्लिक ऑडियंस और टू द लार्जर पब्लिक प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे करते हैं, वी टेक कंसेंट. फॉर एग्जांपल जन आधार इज कंसेंट बेस्ड सिस्टम इनिशियली, तो वहां पे वी हैव टेकन केयर ऑफ इट फर्स्ट. सेकंड, डेटा मोनेटाइजेशन में अगेन कमिंग टू मैम, द प्रॉब्लम इज डेटा सैनिटाइजेशन. तो हमारे जो मल्टीपल सोर्सेज ऑफ डेटा, जैसे राजन सर ने कहा कि एग्री स्टैक is one, then we have farmer registry, another, we have Janadhar, we have Bhu Rajaswa, बहुत सारे multiple data sets हैं. In Smart we are coming up with a golden record. So for example, अगर मैं आपके question को rephrase करूं, तो हिमांशु गुप्ता की एज आपके पैन कार्ड में भी मिल सकती है, आपके राशन कार्ड में भी मिल सकती है, आपके आधार कार्ड में भी मिल सकती है, और मल्टीपल सच डेटा सेट्स जहां पे मेरी एज मिल सकती है. तो कितने डेटा सेट्स में मेरी एज कॉमन है, उसकी प्रोबेबिलिस्टिक और उसकी वेटेज पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से वी क्रिएट अ गोल्डन रिकॉर्ड, और उस गोल्डन रिकॉर्ड के बेस पे देन वी कैन सेफली से कि नहीं ये व्यक्ति की एज ये ही है, सब्जेक्ट टू चेंज ऑल्सो, बट दिस इज द प्रोबेबिलिस्टिक बेस्ट वी कैन गेट इनटू. तो जो मोनेटाइजेशन की बात है, अभी हम डेटा लेक क्रिएट करके एक डेटा एक्सचेंज बनाने के प्रयास में हैं. जब डेटा एक्सचेंज बन जाएगा राजस्थान का, इंजेस्टिंग मल्टीपल डेटा सेट्स फ्रॉम मल्टीपल डिपार्टमेंट्स, देन विल थिंक अबाउट डेटा मोनेटाइजेशन. बट एट द सेम टाइम वी आर नॉट स्टॉपिंग फ्रॉम गिविंग दैट पर्टिकुलर सिटीजन-सेंट्रिक गवर्नमेंट सर्विसेज. वो तो हम दे रहे हैं, बट डेटा मोनेटाइजेशन डेटा एक्सचेंज के बाद.
So this aisle is two questions. This is one. I don't know what happened to this particular aisle and the other speaker. So if you have any questions for any of the other panelists, please ask one last question, and then we will move towards closing.
Good morning, sir. And just to continue the previous question.
Who is this for?
This is for Rajan, sir. Sir, as you told that there is interoperability between different departments. One is giving input to other. At the same time, I just wanted to have an understanding that how do we address that security and consent based concerns. And further, this data set keeps on changing, because it may happen that one family structure is getting changed, or some related changes keeps on happening. So how do we keep on addressing those dynamic changes? Thank you.
Again, primarily the data quality has to be there and constant updation reflecting the real-time position. That is a prerequisite. So the quality of data has to be maintained. And if we are creating dependencies, interdepartmental dependencies, then we'll also have to ensure that the departments update those data and keep it real-time, reflecting the real-time position on the ground. Only then this kind of input-output relationship will be useful. So very well said and very valid point. So that is a prerequisite. That goes without saying that data has to be sanitized, as Himanshu was also talking, and it has to be updated on real-time basis. So that's it.
Thank you, sir. I think we should close, and I want to close this with this thought. That one of the biggest issues or the complaints that the citizens raise is that for the ease of administration, the many departments that get created for the right reasons ultimately end up creating multiple silos, and then the same citizen is then looked at with different lenses. For the same citizen could be a farmer for one department, a woman for one department, disabled for one department, and at the end of the day, we end up operating in silos and defeating the very purpose of why the government is chosen. And with what we saw and the role technology has played in Rajasthan, I must end by congratulating this amazing set of champions of public policy implementation and technology for having given us such amazing learnings and solutions that we can all adopt as a nation, and of course take this to the larger world as well. So the longest possible applause for this amazing audience panel for what they have done.
Thank you very much to all our experts. I request you all to kindly stay with us on stage, as I would like to invite Secretary, Department of IT&C, Dr. Ravi Kumar Surpur sir, IAS, and Mr. VK Singh, Additional Director General of Police, to join us on stage and present the mementos to our experts. And I think we completely relate to what our moderator Samir sir said, that indeed these policymakers are the champions, and Rajasthan is coming up like a case study, which every other state and policymakers can learn from. We would like to present the memento to Shri Arijit Banerjee, Shri Rajan Vishal, Shri Himanshu Gupta, Srimati Tina Dabi, put your hands together, and Shri Samir Jain. Thank you to all of our experts. Thank you to our officials for presenting the mementos. I request our panelists to kindly step forward for a group photograph. It is beyond impressive what we have been witnessing during these 2 days, and the various kind of launches, initiatives, the way they are changing lives.